This isn't a both sides issue, says side that launched a violent insurrection. Oh, wrong. January 6th, right. Yeah. A walking tour where they were invited in. Pardoned the violent insurrectionists. The left is demonstrably more pro-violence, both in practice and as a baseline worldview. Mehdi Hasan. So there is a case to be made that the leftist media, the leftist, you know, I've always said the media, entertainment, big tech industrial complex, they're engaging in something that's been referred to as stochastic terrorism. Let me read you the definition of this. The idea that influential individuals may demonize target groups or individuals, inspiring unknown actors to take up terroristic violence. Now, I know you have to be careful because the left will try and accuse the right of doing this if we say, for example, that the left wants mass voter fraud, or at least they don't want to stop it. They will say that that's dangerous rhetoric. So let me counter. I believe more dangerous rhetoric is where you directly compare us to, infer that we are, or flat out state that people who believe in faith, family, freedom, America first, were Nazis, fascists, murderers, and it's Handmaid's Tale. I think that that would be an example of stochastic terrorism. Here, you see what I mean.
Do you think Donald Trump is a fascist?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
MAGA forces are determined to take this country backwards. They promote authoritarian leaders, and they fan the flames of political violence.
He's a punk. He's a dog. He's a pig. He's a con, a bullshit artist. I'd like to punch him in the face.
But Trump is much more dangerous.
Do you think so?
A racist, abusive coward who could permanently damage the fabric of our society.
I want to be clear on this. I do not want that man to die. I want to watch him suffer. And I can't watch a dead person suffer.
Because Donald Trump is such an authoritarian, and he must be stopped. He cannot be president.
And you actually wrote about this, and it was a great video where you talked about, you know...
maternity pants.
Someone has to do it. See, when I say that, everyone knows exactly what I mean.
Yes, I have thought an awful lot about blowing up the White House.
I like that you're all a part of it. When was the last time an actor assassinated a president?
But the guy is a convicted felon or convicted rapist. He's a pedophile.
Our First Lady Melania is here. Look at Melania, so beautiful. Mrs. Trump, you have a glow like an expectant widow.
Hey, made a joke. I tell you what, considering that they talk about how dangerous and violent people on the right and Donald Trump, I wish that President Trump was as impulsive sometimes as Will Smith.
Uh-oh, watch out. Oh, wow. Wow. Wow, dude.
Yes.
It was an assassination joke.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
That's so silly.
That's what AI is for.
It's perfect.
I'm glad how it turned out.
Yeah, it did.
Now, and this is the left going, Donald Trump protects pedophiles, Epstein, right? And what they use as the basis of that. Of course, mishandled. Epstein, Binder, Pam Bondi. We talked about it. I recreated Epstein's cell. You can go and watch that special. I don't think that he killed himself in the way that we were told. Absolutely not. I think it's very, 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 very unlikely. Completely impossible? No. Highly implausible.
Right.
And I would like to see more unredacted files. You know, the ones that people were promised. I'd like to see that out there. I have seen no evidence whatsoever that President Trump is covering for or was involved in any type of rape, pedophilia whatsoever. I've seen a lot of evidence to the opposite in comparison to the Democrat Party. But I'll tell you, I can't make a substantiated claim either way. Now watch how CBS presses President Trump and see if you can guess, are they a leftist or are they a Marxist right-winger? They press him on the would-be assassins manifesto and, of course, pivot to, well, you guessed it, Trump handles it.
The so-called manifesto is a stunning thing to read, Mr. President. He appears to reference a motive in it. He writes this, quote, administration officials, they are targets. And he also wrote this, I am no longer willing to permit a pedophile, rapist, and traitor to coat my hands with his crimes. What's your reaction to
Well,
that?
I was waiting for you to read that because I knew you would, because you're horrible people. Horrible people. Yeah, he did write that. I'm not a rapist. I didn't rape anybody.
Do you think he was referring to you?
Excuse me.
Who else?
I'm not a pedophile. You read that crap from some sick person. I got associated with all stuff that has nothing to do with me. I was totally exonerated. Your friends on the other side of the plate are the ones that were involved with, let's say, Epstein or other things. But I said to myself, you know, I'll do this interview and they'll probably, I read the manifesto, you know, as a sick person, but you should be ashamed of yourself reading that because I'm not any of those things.
Mr. President,
and I
these
was
are the
never,
gunman's words.
excuse me. You shouldn't be reading that on 60 Minutes. You're a disgrace. But go ahead, let's finish the interview.
The other thing that he wrote in
You're
the
disgraceful.
And here's actually, you know what? I will get to the Obama quote because here's the surprising thing is, according to former President Barack Obama, the manifesto didn't even exist. He wrote this after the manifesto was, I don't want to use the term released, but people have it. People were made aware of it. Right. The motivations, the background of this man. This is what he posted. He wrote, now, although we don't have the details about the motive behind last night's shooting at the White House Correspondent Dinner, we do, f***tard. It's incumbent upon all of us to reject the idea that violence has any place in our democracy. What? How about lying all the time to the public? We have no idea the motivation? Well, hold on a second. He wrote it. He wrote it down very clearly. If we apply this standard to any other crime, where we go, okay, is there a background? Yeah. Is there a motive? Yes, there is. Are there witnesses? Yes, there are. Oh, wait a second. Does he have a manifesto? Done. No, I know we don't know. Then if you can't know when you have the background, you have the evidence, and you have a manifesto, how could you know? The answer is never.
Yeah. What about Black Lives Matter? What about the Summer of Love? Were you out in the streets saying, no violence can be found out here. We need to be calm and peaceful? No, I don't think we heard from him. By the way, that was at 4:15 the following day. Mm-hmm. That's not like, in the heat of the moment, the night of, or the morning after. 4:15 the following day.
Now, if you combine that's what the left wants people right in the public to believe. Barack Obama is banking on his readers to not know, and many of them don't because people silo themselves. The Marxist right, instead of countering that, like we are going, no, we actually have the manifesto. They go, hopefully these people don't know. And by the way, it's Mossad and Erica Kirk. You know, most multivitamins are crap. Proprietary blends of stuff you don't need. It's not even what's on the label. That's why we created Foundation Daily. Clinically effective ingredients at their clinically effective doses. Vitamins A through zinc, plus curcumin, turmeric, and garlic to help you with some aches and pains. Everything you need, nothing you don't. Plus, you can get a certificate of analysis on every batch sold, so what's on the label is exactly what you're getting. Go to foundationdaily.com to start your subscription today. Foundation. It's a knockout. You see the problem? There are so many references to today's show. Go check the bibliography. It's like hundreds of links, just to be clear. I want to give you everything that we actually know. Now, here are dozens of posts from Mehdi Hasan. Now, just to be clear, I don't know that Mehdi Hasan is a terrorist.
But he has a pager.
But we must reject terrorism or terror sympathy from anyone named Mehdi Hasan out there.
Which is probably a lot of people.
Or at least one. So, what he wrote this weekend, post, is that the right is the real problem. That's his claim. He wrote this in, I believe, response or mocking the Babylon Bee. He wrote, "This isn't a both sides issue. Says side that launched a violent insurrection." January 6th, right. Yeah. A walking tour where they were invited in, pardoned the violent insurrectionists, murdered Melissa Hortman. The guy who actually was appointed to Tim Walz and said it had absolutely nothing to do with Trump. Tried to kidnap and kill Gretchen Whitmer. Do you mean where the majority of them were feds? Tried to kill the Pelosi's. Okay, what? You mean the guy with the hammer in his underwear, who, by the way, it's not politically motivated? Tried to kill Ilhan Omar. Tried to kill Zohran Mamdani. Now he's just making it up. Plotted multiple assassination attempts against Obama and Biden. Sent pipe bombs to multiple top Democrats and threatened to execute elected Democrats just weeks ago. Here's the thing. It's what they do. They just opinion stack on top of maybe at best half facts.
He said Zohran Mamdani. Is he talking about the Muslim that threw a bomb at his house?
At the white guys in front of his house.
Yeah.
I think that's
the
what
one who
he must
yelled
be
Allahu
referencing.
Akbar?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
And tried to kill the protesters?
Even in his own examples, he's using people who would be aligned with the left. Now, let me just give you some irrefutable facts. And I highly recommend that you go check out the Left is Violent, Change My Mind. We did this after the assassination of Charlie Kirk. The left is demonstrably more pro-violence, both in practice and as a baseline worldview. So if you look at the numbers, liberals, leftists under the age of 45, this is from YouGov, 26% of leftists under the age of 45 think that violence is acceptable. Conservatives under 47.
Still too much, but...
Still too much.
Yeah.
The more conservative you are, this isn't an outlier, the less likely you are to support violence according to every piece of polling data that we have available as of the moment of this broadcast, which is April 27th, 2026. If you look at the numbers, supporting political violence, people who are very conservative, 3%, conservative, 6%, moderate, 9%, liberal, 17%, very liberal, 25%. Then when asked if violence is always unacceptable, Republicans, so we go from conservative, now we're looking at direct party affiliation. Republicans, 77%, always unacceptable. 18% said sometimes acceptable. By the way, that would be me. The American Revolution. If they come to take my kids and trans them, I would say violence is acceptable. I've been clear about that. Democrats, 38% said always unacceptable. 44% say sometimes acceptable. Let's go to another one. 66% of those who identified as left of center responded that the murder of Donald Trump would be somewhat or completely justified.
Wow.
So we're looking at demographic, conservative, liberal, very conservative. There's a perfect curve. The more left you lean, the more supportive of political violence, and then directly by party affiliation, and then directly as it relates to Donald Trump, which, by the way, extends to his followers. And then you look at the left. This is how they keep the lie alive. Think tanks like the Prosecution Project, this is what's cited by the left. They omit very clear examples of leftist political violence. We've covered this before. So, like, for example, Michael Renault, the Antifa member who shot the Trump supporter point blank. We got a Trump supporter here, bang, bang. Yep. That was not included among leftist violence. Darrell Brooks, black supremacist who killed 6 white people, that was not included amongst leftist violence. The Summer of Love, only 201 entries of leftist violence despite 13,000 arrests, 60,000 officers assaulted, and at least 37 deaths. So when they try and cite the actual examples of political violence, they omit all the examples of the left. Because remember, Antifa is not left, it's just an idea. So it's a warped stat. You can go watch the Change My Mind. We've gone through it. And then when you look at polling data, look, let me just ask you point blank. Are you a liberal? Do you support violence? By several multiples, much more likely to say yes. Those on the right saying no. It's not up for debate as far as statistics. It's not up for debate as a matter of fact. Now, it is up to all of you to help change minds and get people away from that ideology, but inherently the leftist ideology is violent. It is. It is inherently violent because leftism, progressivism, can only be implemented by force violently. And it requires a lot more use of force because it's far more invasive to your life. It requires use of force to enforce not only taxes, but speech codes, to disarm you, to force you into a medical system where you do not have choice. Everything that the left proposes eventually finds itself at the intersect of use of force. So Mehdi Hasan was right in his statement. Political violence is not a both sides issue. It is a leftist issue. And the problem is they're being given cover by those on the Marxist right, downplaying it because they want to sell you clickbait bullshit. There is a genuine threat. We know it. We've lived it. I've been here since 2008, really 2006, if you want to go back and see the first stuff I've ever put on YouTube. And guess what? As a teenager in comedy clubs, had to deal with this. Anecdotally, it's been my whole life. Empirically, it's not even close. This should be one of those moments in time like COVID where people woke up and said, oh my gosh, the teachers' unions aren't doing the work. I didn't realize how controlling the left was. I didn't realize how far the scam went. This should be one of those moments in time where people go, you know what, enough is enough. I mean, after 3 attempted assassinations and what we saw with Charlie Kirk and what we see happening on camp. Oh,
yeah.
Hey, you know what? I'm not on board with the left anymore. Instead, the conversation has shifted to so many straw men being erected and false premises that's where the focus shifts. It's awful. It's awful, and it's really disheartening. And we'll take your chats, and you guys let me know if this is something that you see and how you think we need to deal with it. But it does need to be dealt with.
It's been 2 years, by the way, since that first assassination attempt. It feels like forever ago.
Yeah.
3 attempts, Charlie Kirk killed during that time, so 4 attempts on ICE facilities.
Yeah.
I mean, how much more evidence do you need? I mean, listen, we can go through it. We've done it before, but when guys like Mehdi Hasan come out and say stuff like that, I saw it too. This guy's just a horrible, horrible human being, lying to everybody without citing any facts at all. No statistics, no facts, just everybody knows this. And the leftists flock to his side. And unfortunately, so many on the Marxist right too.
Yep. It's not a horseshoe. There's no difference.
Yeah.
There's no difference. And by the way, we're able to discuss this, be objective. Hopefully, this is of value to some of you out there. We're never going to be the place that just look at everything we went through today. I guarantee you watching right now, there's something that we've said that you disagree with. But just find solace in the fact that there are other people watching right now where there's a whole bunch they disagree with. We're able to actually deliver what we believe, what we know, regardless of popularity, regardless of whether it generates clicks or not in that moment before we move on to another conspiracy theory and move the goalposts and never actually face accountability. Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked what you saw, you can click around and watch one of these videos on YouTube, or head on over to Rumble and subscribe, where I am live every weekday at 11 a.m. Eastern. Live on Rumble. YouTube is dead. Rumble did it. And on Rumble, you can say